Hello everyone, my name is Julian Hammond from Tips for Good Management, and welcome to tip number 5 of our 10 top tips to improve your bottom line performance. And tip number 5 is prevention is better than cure. And this is the last one in this little part of this series about cost reduction. Where one way to be more profitable is to take as much cost out of the business as possible and therefore create a bigger margin between what costs you to run your business and what you can charge for it. So the greater the distance between those two, the more money you're going to make. Or alternatively, you can bring your price down and be more competitive and sell more. So let's have a look at this idea of prevention is better than cure. There's a rather interesting diagram that explains this quite well. And it talks about the amount of time and money that you put into preventing things. And if you don't put very much effort, time or resource into preventing problems, what you end up with is a huge amount of failure cost. And for those that have been following these series through, remember I spoke last time about the 1-10-100 rule that says when you let a problem escalate and you don't prevent it from happening, then you end up with a much bigger cost to deal with at the end of the day. So the less time you spend on prevention, the more failure you end up experiencing. However, if we now say quadruple our effort, our resource and our input into preventing things from happening, look what happens to the failure costs. They become very, very small. And this is, if you like, the Japanese manufacturing model where they just drive out problems and issues at the very root of the problem, at the very beginning of the process, and they don't allow them to continue. So their actual overall business running costs become very, very small, or as lean as they possibly can be, and very little failure cost. And that, of course, becomes the model, the financial model that your business will be built on. So we want to be taking out as much of this failure cost as we possibly can through preventing the problem in the first place. So it shows, this model, how preventative measures, getting it right first time, you may have heard that before somewhere, they significantly reduce the overall business costs. So money spent on prevention is an extremely good investment. Some real life examples of that, just to help understand the principles, with things like, clearing and guttering out, preventing the build-up of leaves and therefore letting the water run away, because what you're going to prevent the water from spilling over and ruining brickwork or paintwork or woodwork. Another idea might be when you paint something or you varnish it, put protective coating on, that's a preventative measure. And what's that going to prevent? In this particular case, prevent this particular wooden bench from rotting away. Another simple example might be machinery, where it requires some sort of ongoing maintenance. If you don't do it, you're going to end up with something that's going to be out of order, going to break down and in disrepair just at the moment you want it. And a really good example of that is probably a motor car. If you don't maintain a car properly, then it's going to cost you a problem or cause you a problem at some moment. And it could even be fatal, which was obviously not what you want to happen. So have a think about preventative measures. They will reduce your costs significantly and make time to put some thinking into that. So I hope that's helped. So my name has been Julian Hammond from Tips for Good Management. Please do follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn and Facebook, but always give us a call. If you've got anything you'd like to raise with me about some of these little videos, or you'd like to know more, we are Chartered Management Institute approved, so we offer many management leadership qualifications and a huge resource. We do training online. In this particular point in time, we've developed a really interesting online approach. And we are previous winners of the UK National Training Awards. And we have a huge portfolio of training solutions, consultancy solutions that you might find useful and helpful. So please do get in touch. Tip number 6 coming up next will be work on the business, not in the business, and derive some benefit from changing your priorities perhaps. So thank you for listening. I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.